Welcome everyone to today's webinar brought to you by Entrepreneurship California. My name is Sandra Vidrio, Business Development Officer for the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. On behalf of the collaborative, I would like to say thank you for joining us this afternoon. Please, our guest speaker for today is Lanisha Senegal, Executive Director of Helping Others Pursue Excellence. And Lanisha will be sharing information updates on unemployment insurance programs, including the new pandemic unemployment assistance. Before we get started, I would like to share with you a quick tutorial on using the chat feature. If you are logged in, please send a hello message just to make sure that you are able to hear the audio. If you're accessing the webinar through a laptop or tablet, you can locate this tool by selecting the chat icon. If using a mobile device, please tap on More option of your screen to access the chat feature. During the presentation, please submit your questions through this tool. We will monitor and address your comments during the Q&A session. Our agenda for today is the following. I will be sharing brief information about the programs and services offered by the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. We will then transition to our guest speaker, Lanisha, for her presentation, followed by our Q&A. The Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation is an organization with the mission to promote education and self-sufficiency. Our three core programs include our Technical Assistance Microloan Program and our Downtown Business Hub. Our bilingual incubator is located in downtown Fresno and is equipped to offer office space for startup and existing businesses, in addition to conference and training facilities. We assist individuals that are looking to start a business or expand their business by providing them with the tools, educational training, and resources for business growth. At the moment, our team is staying focused and informed of up-to-date information on all of the resources available to our business community. In addition, we are hosting weekly webinars on relevant topics related to COVID-19. As you can see on the screen, you can connect with us via phone, email, or send us a message through our social media platforms. Please let us know if there's any other further assistance that we can help you during these challenging times. I also want to share with you all about the Womanpreneur, Latinapreneur. This is a 4-month program that will consist of 2 cohorts to provide workshops for English and Spanish-speaking women entrepreneurs, focusing on how to survive during COVID-19 and also enhancing their marketing strategies to develop new marketing strategies by helping them sell their products online. The program will consist of 8 virtual workshops that will be hosted through Zoom, and there is no cost to participate. Thanks to all our community partners, Ventanilla Asesoría Financiera, USHCC, San Francisco FHL Bank, JP Morgan Chase Co., and Chevron. The registration will be closing on Thursday, April 30, and there's still spots available to sign up. If you're interested in participating, please send us an email at incubator@fresnodbh.org or that way our team can forward you the registration link. Once again, there's no cost to participate in this program and there's still space available. This webinar is brought to you by Entrepreneurship California. We are a collaborative of 5 organizations working together to provide assistance to businesses in the Central Valley and throughout California that have been impacted by COVID-19. If you need assistance or if you know of a business that needs assistance, please have them visit our website at entrepreneurshipca.com to submit a request, and within 24 hours, one of our team members will be in contact to get them set up with the most appropriate community partner. I would now like to introduce you to our guest speaker for today. Welcome, Lanisha, and thank you for collaborating with us to host this webinar and presentation to our community partners. As a reminder, we will have a Q&A session after the presentation, and please use the chat feature to submit your questions.
Thank you, Sandra. Can everyone hear me okay? Let's see here. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go on and share my screen. The goal for today is to do a step-by-step presentation on how to, oh gosh, those airplanes that are going by, I hope that's not gonna be all day, but the opportunity here with the EDD is now allowing for those who are self-employed and those who have been affected by the crisis to be able to apply for unemployment insurance. There's a few differences in the type of unemployment that you can apply for. What I thought was really amazing, and kudos to our state, we really wanted to be sure, our state really went, as far as they possibly can to include every single person that is affected by this crisis, from self-employed, from those who are unemployed, those who are head of household, as well as those who are migrant farm workers. I mean, literally everyone who has been impacted by this crisis is eligible in some format to apply for unemployment insurance and what they call pandemic unemployment insurance. So I'll go through the differences between the few and then take you through the process and actually applying for and actually filing a claim. Those that have been affected, on the unemployment website, the edd.ca.gov is the website that is having you to access your claims. They are going back as far as February 2nd. So if your business started to take a hit, or as an independent contractor, or if you were unemployed, as far as back as February 2nd, it looks like you're able to apply for unemployment insurance. There's 4 different considerations before you actually file a claim to consider. If you are in the unemployed category, as I mentioned, you'll file a claim in one of the links where it says unemployment insurance, file a new claim in this area. If you actually got sick, you had lost wages, but it was, due to a non-work related illness, an injury, a pregnancy, they ask that you do not apply for unemployment insurance benefits, but you actually apply for disability insurance benefits. The other one is if you have a family member that maybe you're caring for, they got sick, during the COVID crisis, you lost wages and you had to take time off to care for that person, then this would be the portal that you would actually apply for what they call paid family leave benefits. And this also takes into a consideration different percentage amounts of, so like if you are unemployed, they usually take your wages up until for the last 18 months. And they will base that percentage on how much you would qualify for that entire period, and then they'll break that down to a weekly benefit amount that you would be able to claim or certify for earnings for that payment each week. So, but what we're going to be focusing on today is to file a claim under unemployment insurance. So at the very beginning of the site, at the top here, they have a couple of links where here we are, we're at claims. And then at the unemployment insurance, we're at file a new claim. They have the good thing about the unemployment insurance during this crisis. Usually we would have to wait a 7-day waiting period in order to certify for benefits. The government has waived all of those requirements to even search for work. So here you'll be able to get a very base pay beginning March 28th. They are giving you $600 per week for the next 4 months. So from March 28th to July 20th, you'll be able to qualify for up to at minimum $600 per week. Basically, that's just the baseline for for your self-employment, benefits, because you have been impacted by the crisis. Now, that does not include if you worked a job. So they would also include on top of that $600 a base wage, and it's a weekly wage based on, again, if you worked over the last 18 months, they will come up with a base salary where they would say, okay, your weekly earnings would be $200 per week, and then they would add that $600. So essentially you'll be making $800 per week in unemployment benefits. So going through here in this area, again, there's a bunch of shortcuts. The system has been lagging quite a bit because during certain hours of the day, a lot of people are trying to register for benefits. So I would suggest late night hours, anytime after 8 o'clock there, in the wee hours of the morning, to log on and to certify. But the goal is to, again, you're going to file a claim and go back as far as you can, considering when did you actually become affected by the crisis. So there's 5 ways to qualify. Again, if you were employed and then you're now unemployed, if you were employed and you were unemployed specifically for the crisis, but you have a return date, so you're unemployed just temporarily, and then you're going to be returning back to work. So they have an opportunity for you to certify for benefits that way. If you were self-employed, or if you were self-employed with the option to return back to self-employment, then you're able to certify for any of those 2. And then even if you have not had consistent work in the past, you just haven't had consistent work, but you're considered head of household, then that way you're able to qualify for benefits as well. So we go to benefit programs online. We will register. So here, when you register, again, remember that you're registering, depending on which category you're in, if that's employment or paid family leave, or I can't remember the other one that fast, but so paid family leave, employment, or anyways, the other one. So just be sure to check the box that best that relates to your situation. So once you create a register, you're going to create a login password ID. You're going to agree to their terms, that you aren't going to commit fraud. You're going to answer the questions to the best of your ability. Here you're going to create a link of the questions. I'm going to just kind of whiz through this part here. I kind of put the information in, and so with that, we can kind of get through it a little bit faster. Most of the information that I enter into the system, I'm not doing any of my personal information, so don't feel like, oh, Lanisha, you're sharing, personal stuff. But on this page where you certify, here you'll be able to generate a password, and it will take you into the portal to ask a number of questions related to your, let's see here, related to your unique situation. So all right. And then bear with me as some of these might, oh gosh, we got another error there. Let's see. Password. And if you have any questions, again, use the chat button there. If I'm going a little too fast, feel free to also just, stop me. All right, let's see if that works there. So once you've created a password, oh my goodness. So this is the what should not happen. Let me try that one more time. All right, that's what it is. Okay. Okay, so not cool, you guys. So I tried it earlier today just to, you know, run through this with you, and then now I'm trying to play it back and used all of my emails. And you guys can, while you're on, maybe if you want to start to create a, Sandra, what's your email address? Have you created a profile?
I have not created a profile, but I can type my email address. So there'll be a first letter S.
Okay.
And then V, like Victor,
Uh-huh.
IDRIO, and I'll type it on the group chat for convenience. There we go. And then it's at fresnodbh.org.
And remember this, I'm not going to actually, you know, complete the certification, so you could still use your password for, I mean, your email for any other future. All right, svideo at fresnodbh.org. Let's see if that works, you guys. I apologize for this first delay. Once we get past that, it's pretty smooth sailing. So once you get through that, you're gonna input some basic information related to your driver's license, confirm all of that good stuff, submit registration. All right. So here you'll be able to, Sandra, can you go to your email and just certify it, and then I'm gonna log back in. So here you'll be able to confirm that you received a confirmation. It's gonna verify your email address. From there, you're gonna, you know, click in to be sure that you go through the necessary questions, certifying for your, like I said, your Social Security, ID, home address. If you had a past employer, it will take you through the identifying the employers. The good thing about the system is because once an employer is actually reported any wages that you've earned over the past 18 months, the EDD already has access to that information. And so you wouldn't have to, you know, you wouldn't have to pull up any of that, you know, pull up that information. It'll automatically come up. So let's see, while that is happening, I have a number of questions. And again, I apologize that I'm having these technical difficulties on my end. I did go through it this morning. I used my email address, so now it's not allowing me to go past. Let's see, are independent contractors who do not pay into unemployment benefits eligible? I found and received paperwork that says we are eligible for 0 with no directions to follow up. Okay, yeah, so you are eligible if you are an independent contractor. You will receive the base $600 per week. And that will go from, for you, when you certify for benefits beginning March 28th through July 20th. If you, after that time, are still considered unemployed, they have what they call pandemic unemployment insurance. And the good thing about the pandemic unemployment insurance benefits is you are eligible through all the way through December 26th. So it says under the CARES Act of 2020, the 600 additional benefits available through July 31st, 2020, you'll be able to receive the $600. And then if you are still considered eligible, you can still receive that $600 all the way through December 31st, 2020. And your benefits could be retroactive back to February 2nd. So if anyone has been affected and you recall that you have started to lose work as soon as February 2nd, then that apply. But again, this particular pandemic unemployment insurance benefits do not open until April 28th. So you won't be able to apply until April 28th. And this is specifically for those who are business owners, self-employed, independent contractors, have limited work history, and are others that are not usually eligible for state benefits. Okay, so hopefully that answers your questions. The other great part about this particular, and so for eligibility, this particular one, they are updating a program specifically for, our farm workers, are, non-citizens. You do have another portal that you'll be able to apply for benefits. The great part about it is you are eligible to apply. So don't be discouraged for those who are going through this system and don't see it, but I can show you where. So to meet the eligibility criteria for the pandemic unemployment insurance, you have to have either been diagnosed, or you have your caretaker, you have somebody in the household or a child who has that you have caregiving experience, caregiving responsibility, and their school was closed as a direct result of the COVID. Maybe you became a breadwinner for your family household, but you're no longer able to support your family because of the COVID. You had to quit your job as a direct result of COVID. Your place of employment closed as a direct result of the COVID. You were scheduled to work a job or start a job that's now unavailable. So they really went out of the way to ensure that every unique situation known to, how this COVID crisis has affected us, they have ensured that you meet the criteria, and you only have to choose one of those criteria areas. And then again, the benefit, how the benefits work is, let's say in phase 1, so from February 2nd through March 28th, that's the initial payment. And I was mentioning to you, an example would be that you had an unemployment. I mean, maybe you are an independent contractor. They're saying that this is your base pay that you would receive, just the very base pay per week, $167 per week. But if you were employed, your employment will actually raise that rate. So I have some that are at $400 a week, $200 a week, $300 a week, $400 or $500 a week. So that base pay really determines your unique situation. But if you're independent contractor, your base pay would be $167 per week from February 2nd to March 28th. Additionally, from March 29th through July 25th, okay, you'll receive that base pay, $167 plus the $600 per week. So as long as you still meet the certification criteria, that you're still considered either unemployed, you're still self-employed, maybe the work that, or what they call underemployed, so you still would be eligible to receive those benefits. Now, after July 26th through December 26th, it would go back to $167 per week. So you'll be able to, if you're still affected by this crisis, maybe you're as an independent contractor, you haven't been able to pick up where you left off on, the earnings. The good thing about it is they're not doing a lot of the major, requirements to verify and, send in all this, paperwork. They're trying to get the dollars in your hands as soon as possible. Just considering, this is part of, being a part of California, and they want to make sure that everyone who is eligible has access to these benefits. So let's see, another question. I'm self-employed realtor. I filed as of March and got a message telling me the following: message is returning to your certification for the week ending period. Yes, so again, it's not until for yours, yours is week ending April 4th, are available. Let's see, April 11th. You claim at the time. Okay, so this is another thing. Recomputation are waiting for admitted to be included in your claim. Continue to file weeks you wish to claim, receive all benefits payable in your claim. Okay, so it is very important when you actually go through the certification process, how you answer those questions. Okay. Now, if it says that you were affected by the crisis, they'll ask you, they'll say, what was the crisis related to, health pandemic or whatever. Were you self-employed? Were you employed by an employer? All of those questions really matter to be able to verify your claim for benefits. At this particular time, not one person should be cut out of the opportunity to be able to receive benefits. If you have received a message like this in the when you log in to certify for your benefits, you will be able to, I would suggest, go online into your actual file and ask the question. So you'll be able to go to speak to a representative, but online. So you can email your representative, and then within 3 to 5 days, they will immediately respond to your question, and then you'll be able to get a little bit more detail on why and when your benefits will be eligible. So we've been taking a number of questions and have been asking them. But for the most part, everyone is eligible, and depending on how you actually answered the questions would determine if something was wrong or whatever. But you are eligible, so I would be curious to ask offline how you answered some of those questions. Let's see here. Unemployment compensation is taxable. Yes. When you certify for benefits online, over the phone, or by mail, you may answer a question which allows you to request federal income tax withholding at 10% of your payable amount. You make a new withholding choice on each time you certify for benefits. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Would a self-employed individual who already filed late March need to resubmit, file a claim for pandemic? No, you just continue to certify for benefits. Every week they'll send you a certification notice, and if your employment still exists, then you're able to log in that way. Let's see here. I signed up a few days, used my last work information. I did not qualify for anything that way. Is there a way to register with my extended information regarding my nonprofit? Have no sales or have the business not need to have no sales or have the business not operated. I'm not certain how to answer that. For business owners to qualify, if you are the nonprofit coordinator, and you put their information in, the nonprofit organization name in. If you're the director or the independent contractor, you're registering with that information. Is it possible to apply for unemployment? No, while you're currently receiving disability. No. So they are monitoring which category you're applying through. So if you remember in the beginning, it shows which category, if you're disabled, or if you're caring for a caretaker, if you yourself got sick. So it's either paid family leave, disability, or unemployment. And then how do you recertify each week? So every single 2 weeks, they will send you an email or a letter in the mail. And that email, and I would ask that when you do register for your, to register online, that you ask for all notices to be received by email. They will still send some things in the mail, but you want to be able to have the quickest response turnaround to be able to certify for your benefits. And then those benefits will ask each week, you know, if you're still unemployed, if you, you know, if you look for work. It does ask the question, if you did look for work, where? But again, if you didn't look for work, it's not holding it against you, but I would still suggest that you say yes, just to make sure that it doesn't hold it against you in the long run. Because their systems are still antiquated systems. So sometimes if you're not looking for work, then they won't, what happens is you'll get the $600, but you might not get your base pay, that $167 or whatever your base pay for your employment would be, because they're still doing a lot of updates and stuff like that. But the email would say UI claims online, and then again, you would just log in and go from there and entering in the verification data that you need to verify your claim. All right, let's see if we can just go register, go back in and I'll just whiz through a few more of these. Okay, let's see here, log in. Sandra, what was your email one more time?
So it's going to be svideo@fresnodbh.org.
All right. Okay, so they would provide a unique identifier. I chose a dice. So each time you log in, it will, to verify that it is you, this is the image that you selected, confirming, you know, this is the profile that you, you know, that you chose. So we already. Okay, let's do it one more time. It doesn't show that I'm logged in, Sandra. All right. Is that correct, Sandra, on there?
No, it's actually fresnodbh.org. So you're just, on the F, you need to add the rest of Fresno.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're gonna verify, just again, making sure that it's not a robot that's trying to log in. Once you're in, it really doesn't, you shouldn't have all of these hang-ups. Oh gosh. So I promise you guys, I went through the whole thing 3 times already. Oh goodness. Sorry guys, this is not supposed to happen. dbh.org. Try it again. You guys keep the questions coming, because half of this I'm sure I can probably answer. Okay, yeah, let me just answer some more of the questions and then kind of go from there. Let's see here. I'm sorry to circle back on my original question. Can you help me understand what I need to do next when it says that I'm eligible for $0 as a seasonal independent contractor. It does not allow me to certify anything, nor does it indicate if there is any additional information needed. So I can answer that question offline. I would need to log in and just kind of see how you answered the questions, just to make sure that, you know, that there wasn't just a kind of like a wrong box input. So, and then you can ask, there's a link on your profile where you can ask, you know, ask for assistance. And once you ask that question, they can ask more detail. It says, so you could say, it shows that I'm not eligible. When will I be able to certify for the $600, you know, the benefit for the $600? And then they'll give you exact details of the period that you'll be able to certify, because you are absolutely eligible to receive that. Okay, sure thing. I have your email. I'll reach out, okay, after this. I'm not sure why, and I have the same password. It's not on lock.
Do you want to try and reset the password, like forgot password, and I'll text it to you, I'll email it to you on the group.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
And then there was one question that was received privately to me, and it was if there are any benefits available at the moment for immigrant farm workers.
Yes. Yes, and so again, that particular site, they just expanded. So the governor has not released the site to actually apply for the benefits yet. I have not seen it, but coming soon. They just got $50 million from the California Endowment, and then another 20. They applied 50,000, and then they got another 25,000. So I want to say like 75 million or something that they received specifically for that category of eligible workers. So okay, did you certify? It just says not yet complete, forgot password. So they just sent a link. Sandra?
Yes, so
Okay.
I am.
Thank you, Shauna. Yes, I will call you. Oh, okay. Him is the first, the first one. And celebrity is Oprah.
Okay, perfect.
Him, capital HIM, and then I think it was just a lowercase him, but then Oprah. I'm sorry, you guys. So she's having to put in the text of the information that I entered to verify. Ugh. Are employees from employees from nonprofits are eligible to apply. Yes, absolutely. If you were independent contractor with your nonprofit, or if you actually were a salaried employee, both of those are eligible to apply. So feel free to go in and apply. Let's see here. Okay, I think I have, let me just make a copy of that. Thanks, Sandra, for your help. We're gonna get through this. All right. Gee. You know what, I might need to just log out and log back in, log out completely out of this site, because it is literally not being friendly at this time, and we have done everything to put in the correct password. Go to the home. Huh. And I'm available offline as well to individually walk anyone through. So if I don't get through this in the next few minutes here, I want to be sure that you have access to me. I have all of my contact information. This technical part here at the beginning, I promise you, does not take all of this to get you a password and registered. Once it actually gets in the system, it's pretty smooth sailing. So, and there's my contact information there. So, and I want to be able to respect everyone's time and patience, and we've already spent a lot of time on that. So again, just in summary, when you do go through the system, the first page is really just getting you to register, verifying your identity, your past employment. I want you to really think about which category that you would qualify in. So again, there's 5 ways to qualify. So when you click on the link to say, hey, I am either employed or employed with the opportunity to go back to work, you're either self-employed or the self-employment opportunity to go back to work, or if you are just head of household. Your work experience, they're going to ask for some keywords, and that's also important. So those keywords you would put, let's say, for example, if you're a caterer, the system would actually, you type in that keyword, the caterer would, different types of words that related to catering, whatever your business is, would allow you to click on what that particular job description that you currently do. When you certify, it's going to ask you if you had to ditch your self-employment, meaning if you had an opportunity to go find full-time work in this field, would you accept the opportunity? Always say yes. If you are looking for work and just, because of this crisis, you're not able to go to work, they are not enforcing the rule to say you had to search for work, but I also will encourage you to look for work, even if that means you just went online to maybe do some job search on Google or Indeed.com or things like that. Put in the detail to show that you have searched for work, and kind of go through that process. Let's see here. Let's see, I have a few more questions. And again, I am available offline, okay, you guys? When I signed up on her info, but I left that work experience to start my nonprofit and put that information. They then responded with no benefits, but check back next week. So yeah, so what date did you, should have started my claim under this new program with my nonprofit information? Yes, you can, April 28th, but you still are eligible before then. So I would ask that if 2 things. If you as an employer, did you have taxes taken out? If you were, then as your nonprofit, if you're a nonprofit to, if you're an employee of your nonprofit, then you should have been eligible wages earned. But the problem is if it was a new nonprofit and you didn't have any wages earned up until November of 2019, remember, they're only basing your wages earned up until any EDD payments in that system up until November. If there's no wages earned during that period, then yes, there's no benefits that they can say that you, the baseline benefits that you would receive for that baseline period. So remember I showed you the $167 as an example. There's no benefits that you can earn because they don't have anything to go by for this particular unemployment insurance benefit program. The pandemic unemployment insurance will allow you to do so. Okay. After that, if you were considered an independent contractor for your nonprofit, then yes, you are eligible for benefits. And it would just depend on how you answered those questions. And you will be eligible, again, for me, I went back through from March 13th to current. I was not eligible for the baseline $600 until March 28th. So beginning March 28th through July 20th, 25th, then you're able to qualify for the $600. If anything after that, and again, they're updating this system regularly, anything after that, they expanded this new website, the Pandemic Unemployment Insurance, for you to be able to qualify as an independent, specifically for, because the system is being, again, it's an antiquated system, so they're trying to calculate benefits based on your baseline wages if you're an employee, plus unemployment, and plus this pandemic. So it is a little bit, the system is a little bit out of date. But yes, you do qualify. So I can help you with that. Okay. And remember, you can go back, if you do wait till April 28th, no matter what, you can go back to February 2nd to certify for benefits, and you will be eligible for, as it showed on the screen there, the $167 from February 2nd to March 28th, March 29th benefits until July 25th, $600 plus the $167. And then you'll be eligible if you're still considered unemployed or self-employed and still affected by the crisis, you're eligible for those benefits all the way through to December of 2019. Okay. Let's see here. Again, my contact information is on screen here. Thank you everyone so much for bearing with me. So at the moment there are no benefits for my, yes, not until April 28th. So everyone who are immigrant farm workers, you will be able to apply on the new system that will be launching. It still would be the Pandemic Unemployment Insurance site. It's a new site that's dedicated specifically for self-employed, all of the unique situations for immigrant farm workers and everyone else of the such. Let's see here. Yes, it is new. Nonprofit started my group session. Oh, okay, yeah, that explains it. So your nonprofit doesn't have any wages that have been entered in the system effective up until, they're only calculating wages based on any wages reported up until November of 2019. How a business owner that does not pay benefits as a person can get the unemployment. In other words, is not in their payroll. Correct. So they're just, they're not asking you a lot of questions. So when you go in and you say you're self-employed or you're self-employed with the potential to return back to work. So there's a drop-down link that says you're remember there's 5 ways to qualify. So if you're self-employed or you're self-employed with the potential to go back to work, meaning, just as soon as the mandate, our city ordinance lifts our date that we can all return back to work, and then you'll be able to continue working as an independent contractor, then you put that as your situation. If not, you're just a self-employed and you don't really have any, date that you're going to return, then that would be your particular situation. They will base the qualifying benefits on the baseline $600. You will not get anything else as far as like that base. I mean, you saw the base period that you would get, like the 167 plus the 600, then continuing through. So they have a formula that they have created specifically for business owners. You would not have to do anything else, because you didn't pay into the system. They're not taking any of that into consideration. They're just, basing it based on, hey, this is what us as a government are doing to make our people whole. Can independent contractors that operate with the I-10 qualify for benefits? Not currently at this time. Not until, again, once they release the new site, And for immigrant families, then they will be able to qualify through that. So everyone will be able to qualify. Best time to contact you, do you prefer emails? Oh, perfect, yes. You can send an email and then I do get back to them, but I want, Sandra, can you put up the Entrepreneurship California site? So that is the actual site that we're actually monitoring, you know, make sure no one drops through the cracks. So if you go to entrepreneurshipcalifornia.com and register through that, then I'm able to provide the best case management service for your unique, you know, business. And then you also, the unique partnership with all of the partners there is if you have any other needs and services, they'll identify which partner is the best one that could serve your specific business needs, all the way from marketing to legal to getting financing for your business. So if anyone has not applied for some of the EIDL loans and the paycheck protection programs, all of that is available for all of your businesses, and we can support you in that effort. I think at this point we have not been able to get in, so I will just leave it to you all to register through that link, and then I can assist you individually. I will ask that you at least get through the first part by registering, so that when I do provide that extra assistance, then I can answer your questions according to the page that you are on once you've actually created a profile. Okay, Sandra?
Yes. Thank you, Lanisha, and thank you for guiding us on how to create the profile and also answering a lot of these great questions. I want to remind everyone that this presentation is currently being recorded, and so we'll make sure everybody receives the link. That way you can go through the presentation to refresh your mind as to what are the steps. And as Lanisha mentioned, if you would like further assistance, please go on to entrepreneurshipca.com. That way we can know your name, your organization, your email, and best number to contact you and work with you on a one-on-one cases. So with that, I would like to go through these slides and let you know the next webinar that will be hosted is going to be on April 28th, and this would be through our Pros Who Know webinar series. And once again, the platform that will be used for the webinar is going to be Zoom. And the best way to contact our team to receive the flyer is the 559-222-8705 number. And you can also RSVP by visiting incubator@fresnodbh.org. And I also want to remind again about the Womanpreneur program. If you are an entrepreneur yourself, woman-owned business, wanting to expand the area of marketing, our focus with this program is going to be how to sell online, especially during times like COVID-19. Registration is still open, and you have until April 30th to sign up, and the first class will be starting on May 12th, and all of the 8 virtual classes will be done to Zoom. And once again, email us at incubator@fresnodbh.org to receive that specific registration link. And with that, I want to say thank you again to Lanisha for sharing with us all of these important updates on unemployment insurance. Please feel free to reach out for any questions or further assistance. We hope to have you join us for our next webinar, and thank you and have a great day.